Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Yonks with Web3 Freedom Club, and this is now our second working group for our quad co-op project where we're looking to submit a winning prize submission for the Hero X American-made challenges for Solar Prize Round 7. And join with me today are Sam, Tyler, and Amy. Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. So we're going to hop right in for the agenda here. And this is one of the things that working on getting better prepared. Let me make this a little bit bigger for everybody on the live stream. So one of the things that wanting to do, and this is to, again, better prepare our agenda and also to provide some opportunities for either whomever or project contributors to come in and ask some questions during an office hour. So this is one of the things that we, again, using Let Us Meet. One of the reasons that love using Let Us Meet is that it provides a nice little heat map. And I'm actually going to be getting the Let Us Meet over here real quick so that we can take a look and get that scheduled. I don't know if anybody else chimed in their availability on the Let Us Meet besides Tyler and myself, but I will find out here. I think Amy did, so let me bring this up with the link here real quick. And let me bring this over to the window on the live stream. And let's see. So yeah, we've got myself, and if anybody else wants to throw in their availability, I'm going to put this on the YouTube as well. So let me throw this in the chat. So I'm putting this on the YouTube. Let me just bring this into the live stream too. So this is our YouTube on our brand new Web3 Freedom Club. And just as a brief recap, Web3 Freedom Club is a brand new DAO, fair launch DAO. We haven't distributed any social tokens yet for this, and this is one of the very first projects. It's going to be our cornerstone project. So this is our Let Us Meet for office hours. We're just going to call office hours number 1, kind of a quick denominator there. And it looks like Double D is able to join us too. Welcome, Double D. So just talking about the Let Us Meet here for our office hours. And if you want to more actively participate in this, again, this is a tool. So right now it's looking like the time that we'll probably be selecting is Wednesday afternoon. And this is something that we'll finalize at the tail end of our working group. And I'm going to just add this here to our agenda real quick. So one of the things, and real quick before I move on, as far as the office hours, does anybody have any questions, thoughts, input on this? This is something that Tyler and I have hosted in the past, and I don't know if you wanted to chime in some thoughts here, Tyler, before we move on to the next topic here on our agenda today.
So basically, the office hour is going to be centered around discussions for the project progress.
Yeah, so my thoughts around the office hours is it'll provide the number one thing that I'm wanting to personally get done during the office hours is get a well-structured agenda for our next working group. So like right now, I don't know if this time is a time that will work for everybody. And this is something that we can talk about as far as getting our working groups scheduled in a reoccurring manner so that it's like same time, same place. The thing that will be a little bit differently is that I still wasn't able to get the Zoom in place. So that's one of the things. Restream does have some scalability. Like I'm only able to invite 10 people to the Restream here. And I think with the 5 people, I'm actually going to go, no, I think this is actually still a little better. So it's going to switch to a Zoom for our next working group, our third working group. But the office hours is where like a midweek, we can continue to get things done. Like taking a look at our agenda here today, one of the things that wanting to do today is to actually create our social token for Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado. And this is one of the things that we're going to be rewarding as an incentive for the project participants. Those people that are participating today will receive tokens across our projects that we're creating here for Quad Co-op. And Quad being 4, and then we also have a token representing people's participation in Web3 Freedom Club. So we're looking to have 5 tokens where we're just going to distribute the tokens evenly using a tokenomics that we'll create here. So like, not going to take the time today to go through, and whether I get some of these done between now and next week. Again, part of the goal of this is of what we're building here is to create a model that can be replicated. And this is something that I'll talk about more in detail. So again, the office hours is to be a complementary aspect, more casual, where people can come in, ask some questions. We're still wanting it to be done via a Zoom and live stream format, because one of the things that we're really wanting this to do too is, and this is part of our We Biddle in Public ethos. Biddle is like some fun Ethereum culture for build. The goal here with what we're building is to build as much of a decentralized project that can scale most organically on a state-by-state and global basis. So that's kind of some thoughts. And do you have anything else to chime in as far as some that I might be missing, Tyler, as far as office hours? So just ask people asking questions, but actually just where we're, again, rolling up our sleeves and getting things done, because there's a lot of stuff that's going to get done to move these projects forward outside of our working groups. So I'll put this as a real quick, just duplicate this, and we'll actually call this finalize date time for office hours number 2 for our agenda here. So one of the things too, one of the reasons that I love and am eternally optimistic about DAOs, and for those that aren't familiar, a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, DAO. And one of the things that we're really wanting to do here is provide a framework where people can operate with some autonomy here. Like we've got a LinkedIn chat group that we're using, and that's one of the things that we had a little bit of feedback on before we went live, is how that was working out. And we're very open to exploring new tools, and we'll be talking about tools, and I don't even have that as an agenda, but we'll absolutely go into some tools that we'll be utilizing here for building our project. So one of the tools is to have an email address, because like the ability to communicate with some stakeholders. Stakeholders are like I can't remember what role that they have within Hero X, but the opportunity of like one of the things that we talked about on last week's agenda for us to be thinking about is potential DeFi partners for capitalizing some immediate opportunities for building out our Quad Co-op proof of concept. And that's one of the things that we'll be working on creating from a collateral standpoint during the course of this project, is creating collateral like one of the pieces that is for a submission requirement for this Hero X Solar Prize Round 7 is to create a one-pager, and creating a great one-pager that really visualizes this quad cooperative model and the synergies that exist between the 4 of these micro cooperatives. So, and this is one of the things that I'll feel free to reach out to myself or Tyler as far as some ideas that you have that you feel would be enhance your ability to be effective as a contributor within this project. And this is something that I'm still wanting to create an open invitation for new project contributors throughout what we're building here. Because to be clear, even though the submission for the Hero X American-made Solar Prize project concludes the official submission deadline is September 27th, even though that deadline exists, this is something that we're going to continue to build out in Q4 and Q1 of 2024. And then also the goal is to create a model that we can deploy on a global basis, because having a decentralized method for powering electric vehicles is not an isolated dynamic, and the opportunity of having a financial model that allows some of these costs, like buying a Tesla and then buying the solar upgrades and buying an a commercial grade charging station. These are all costs that we need to capitalize, and that's the goal of this regenerative finance model that we're building. So talked about the open invitation. This is one of the things that I'm still going to create a video, hopefully between now and our office hours. That's looking like it'll be this coming Wednesday. But I'm gonna chime in. And does anybody have some additional thoughts on things that we can do? And we'll talk more about tools. And this is actually, I'll bring open. One of our tools that we're using is DWork, and I'll bring that tab open. It's a decentralized tool here. And this is Triple Win Foundation, which is the overarching nonprofit foundation that we've got, that Web3 Freedom Club is the for-profit arm of. But that being said, here's an opportunity if anybody wants to chime in some thoughts on ways that we can enhance autonomy within this DAO. And I don't know if you're trying to talk, Tyler, but I'm not hearing you right now. So one of the other things too that I started doing, and I'm still trying to see what will be the most effective model, but this is one of the things, just thinking about operationalizing stuff and creating a decentralized model, is I created a board here. This is DWork. DWork is a decentralized, and this is one of the things that we'll be utilizing as a tool within this particular project. And we actually have a project under Web3 Freedom Club specifically for this Hero X project. And this is the main board that we'll be using for, and I don't know if you're still getting this Double D. This is one of the things right now. We've got a redirect in place for Quad Co-op. And let me see what it looks like on my end. So I bring open Quad Co-op, see, and this is one of the reasons that I had that ticket there. And this is one of the things that may be causing an issue with you being able to open Quad Co-op. And this is one of the things that we, as we're building different stuff, and that's one of the things that we'll be talking about. Right now, this is supposed to redirect to this link tree right here, Quad Co-op. But as you can see, there's a privacy error, and this is one of the reasons that I had this particular task on DWork. And this is one of the things as I see tasks that we'll be creating. And this is one of the things that if you see a need or an opportunity, like we have this, you can reach out to me on our group thread. And this is one of the things that we want to continue to enhance as far as from a tools standpoint, the ability to contribute effectively within this project ecosystem that we're building out here. So we'll be continuing to talk more and more about tools, and the office hours is one of the places that will really be rolling in the sleeves, where if you're having troubles with a particular tool or whatever, because this is one of the things in our tokenomics that will be really ramping up. And let me actually let me just bring that open here to talk about the tokenomics. Does anybody want to chime in as far as some thoughts right now, as far as autonomy, ideas to make for better autonomy within this project?
I think if we get the support set up correctly, then it'll make a big difference, because I think a lot of people are concerned about going on their own and not knowing what they're doing, but hopefully we'll be able to have enough support infrastructure that even if you're the leader, you'll have a bunch of resources, and we're going to try and put everything out there, documentation, YouTube, Notion, and everything else.
And thanks for bringing that in. This is one of the things I'm going to add here is an idea for a increasingly decentralized support model. And this is one of the things that I relayed a little bit, and I didn't really scratch the surface as far as the way that we're wanting to architect this co-op protocol contribution. But the biggest thing that we're wanting to do is we're wanting to create a Web3 BSU, and I already registered web3bsu.org. This doesn't go anywhere right now, but this is another opportunity that we have through a simple redirect. But this is we're going to call this Web3 Business Services Unit, BSU, Business Services Unit. And the idea here is, again, like Tyler was saying, the goal with what we're wanting to create is right here, models and business processes that can be deployed for any state. And we're talking about a micro cooperative that may be so micro that it's one income producing Tesla. And the model with this is to have two drivers. And the reason that we have two drivers is just for efficiency. Because like at the end of the day, one person can't drive a car 24/7, 365. And that's the whole purpose of the model here, is to increase efficiency throughout, whether it's having two full-time drivers with one income producing Tesla on the Tesla car co-op side, or on the house co-op side, is to have a more effective cooperative housing model where all of the bedrooms, instead of just having a bedroom that gets used that's like basically a storage room. And how many houses here in America have a bedroom that's mostly a storage room? Who knows? I think the Airbnb just amplified the opportunities surround that. And that's one of the things that we'll talk about. So the ideas for increasingly decentralized support model, because we won't be decentralized very much when we launch our quad co-op security token offering in the spring or late winter of 2024, quarter one of 2024. But we can create this Web3 business services unit where one of the email addresses we could have is support@web3bsu.org. Now, what would this support email address, one of the things that we need to think through is we've got a entity that we're wanting to create for the first car in this model. And let me actually go ahead and bring that open in another window here real quick. And this is something that I shared a screenshot on our LinkedIn chat, is the Tesla car co-op entity in North Glen. So this is a brand new entity that we're talking about creating. And this is using some of the capabilities within Notion. And this is this is linked to this Hero X project. And I literally just created this page. This email address, for example, is not an email address that exists. And this is one of the things that I'm not sure if we want to associate this entity with Quad Co-op. I'm kind of liking this a lot as far as the trade name here being, and this is basically an asset identifier. An asset identifier is this is a, and let me see, let's take a look, because so P-token ID. So this is a database that I created here that is a very simple asset code, like Tesla Car Co-op. So this would be the first Tesla Car Co-op in this quad co-op model that we're creating. And apologies, but Amy is having some troubles there. And this is one of the things that just as a side note that we're expecting that will be a little bit better, especially on a mobile experience, is Zoom. And that's one of the reasons that we're wanting to use Zoom, is it's more scalable and has a better experience. So one of the things that we need to get great at is having some capabilities of managing entities, and that's where why we're using Notion as far as a database. And the easier that we get as far as just creating some processes and then really defining one of the processes. And this is a good opportunity to talk about one of the tools that we're really wanting to use is Mermaid. And I'm going to go off on this tangent here real quick. Mermaid.js. So this is a book that not only did I order, and thank you, Tyler, for being so supportive, but I ordered the soft copy of this book via Kindle and the hard copy of the book, because this is a tool that we actually have had some conversations about in previous working groups. And the reason that love Mermaid is that you can use Markdown code, and then it can also be visualized here within Notion. And then the opportunity to refine, whether it's in Notion or some workflow within GitHub. And this is one of the things that we love using tools. I'm pretty sure that we already have a GitHub organizational page for, here's one that we use for Retoken. And this would be a great little tangent because we actually had our project submission over here. And I can't even remember, I don't even think we use the project framework in Notion. But here's where we did our project for Solar Prize, American Bait Solar Prize Round 5. And this is, I believe, what we actually submitted in here. And we ended up doing a PDF. And this is something that I'll share on the live stream so that it's here on YouTube as well for everybody. So I see Amy. Hi, Amy, if you're watching on YouTube. Here is the project submission page we created on GitHub for Retoken DAO's Solar Prize Round 5 in 2021. So that everybody has that, I think that this text will be available on the YouTube replay as well. So that's a useful thing for everybody to go through and take a look at as well. I don't know if we'll follow the same format or similar format. One of the things that is in place that we didn't have when we did our submission for Solar Prize Round 5 is that we have embraced and are using Notion. And I really love the framework that Notion provides. I'm not going to go into details. That's one of the things that we can talk about during our office hours. So Web3 Business Services Unit is, again, some ideas that we have for an increasingly decentralized support model. One of the things that hopefully over time that's something that we can migrate away from as we get more scale within micro cooperatives on a hyperlocal or at a state level basis, where a lot of the support will be protocol based, and then we can truly create more of a decentralized model. This is an opportunity that we deliver on our quad co-op security token offering through this project, that we could, it would be very easy to see having paid support staff while that we're working on ramping up and having a more decentralized support model for the future. But that's just an initial idea that we want to build in. And we're really going to be refining some of the stuff, like right here with how that we're doing our quad co-op. We'll probably follow some similar dynamics. And this is one of the things depending on how much that we love Quad Co-op as far as from a branding and how much that it really resonates with people here in 2023, that's something that we can refine through our narrative as we're building for our Quad Co-op security token offering. But I'm going to stop talking. Did you want to chime in anything more on these two topics as far as this ideas, or anybody else, Sam or Double D, surrounding the autonomy for DAO for our project, or this idea for increasingly decentralized support model right now?
I don't know if you saw Double D's message about wanting more of a rundown about how everything should work.
So that's one of the things, as far as that we have a pretty composable framework. Like this is where that we're wanting, again, some autonomy, because like you might think of something that we need that's like a hole within this project, and this is where just like being because we have like tasks, and I'm going to be creating tasks here on DWork. So like as far as like a framework, we've got, this is our main project board here on DWork for the Hero X Solar Prize Round 7. So as we see stuff come up, so like register Quad Co-op for Hero X, like I love, we've been using Porkbun, and like when we go to Porkbun, like right now for quadcoop.org, this is actually a domain that we don't even own right now. So I've got it in the cart right now on checkout. So this is one of the things that we're wanting to do here. So this is one of the things that like we're still building some of our initial contribution framework. And as I see things that need to be done, like tasks and like whatever to do, like one that we could create is, and I think that, I don't know if we have this real quick, discard. So like here's one that's in progress. So like coordinate this live stream. Like this is one that I'm wanting to be more templated. It takes efforts for me to coordinate the live stream that we're on right now. And this is something that wanting templated, where if somebody else wanted to be like, hey, I would love to host our 6th working group, I would absolutely love to give over the reins as the host for our working group to another project contributor. So this is one of the things that we want to have the tools that we can, as thought leaders, project contributors, teammates on this project, we're wanting to provide the framework that allows you to be autonomous. Like we've talked a little bit about that we don't have any branding. Like one of the things that we would like to do is create some branding for our project page. Like here is our official team page, and I'm going to throw this on here real quick. This is our official team page on herox.com for Quad Co-op. There, that's it. So Quad Co-op, hashtag Quad Co-op. This is like one of the things that's an easy opportunity. Like if you do a Google search for just hashtag Quad Co-op, and there's not any image that exists. Like right now, I'm using a very basic video thumbnail of a POAP plus like, and this is not a creative image. This is one that we've used with the DAO hack from a branding standpoint. So like we don't have any branding for Web3 Freedom Club or Quad Co-op, and those have some unique branding opportunities themselves. And I'm not a branding guy as far as like how to create a good visual image that would visually represents Web3 Freedom Club. And like one that is a need is Quad Co-op. And we've got multiple elements. There's literally 4 different elements within Quad Co-op, probably more than 4 if you really think about it. But So I know that I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but like those are all opportunities that we have, and to create like some new tasks. Right now, I think the way that we have D-Work set up is that Tyler and myself are the people that are able from an organizational standpoint to submit tasks. And that's something that we can easily do. And I don't know if community suggestions are turned on, but again, the more that we get great at using tools like D-Work and we create business processes, because basically what we're talking about doing here is we're wanting to create 4 different business processes for how that somebody can step in and be a gig working cooperative driver within this model that we're building here. And the more that we do creating step-by-step processes during this project for various things, and empower people to use tools like D-Work, and then again, the community chat, like one of the other opportunities, and let me go, here's the Quad Co-op link tree. And this is something that I'll probably update to, is our Web3 Freedom Club actually has our project links on here. Like this is another new opportunity for high-low. Like we've not really leaned that much into high-low, and this is one of the things that we're really wanting this to be our project homepage, because the opportunity of having a where somebody can come in and get kind of at a high level to organize this, that's a little different than Notion, because high-low is where we're wanting to communicate and provide some updates, like for people that are interested, and then like our Notion. And let me actually go to our Notion page for our working group here too. So this is for the project. So this is our project homepage in Notion. And this is something that I have linked over here on the link tree. And I'll probably copy this section right here with these links, is our project management in Notion. And this is something that I've made some substantial updates to since our last working group. So like, why join our HeroX team? Learn Web3 DAO blockchain technology. And this is something that I'm wanting to, again, create a better process so that we can invite more people. I actually loved how many people, and I'd have to circle back from in a time machine standpoint to see how many people actually raised their hand. And this is something that we might even create a token incentive for people that go through and onboard on our team. But anyway, these are the benefits. So working groups, additional project tools. So these are the 2 main project tools that I'm talking about besides Notion. So why Colorado for first quad co-op? This is something that I started creating some details surrounding. And then the project team. So this is an opportunity. Everybody that's on the Restream right now, let me actually just go ahead and go back real quick. Just as a good housekeeping thing, is participants. Let me just add this real quick here as far as everybody that's participating on this live stream. Amy, Sam, and Double D. So these are the people that participated on the live stream. Now, one of the things that I did, going back to the team page, so like, this is utilizing the team directory functionality in Notion. So like, here's an opportunity for the project contributors to create their own profile in Notion. And this is one of the things that will make it easier for us whenever we're creating our final submission team. And this is something that will probably add some additional details, but like taking a look at the team directory, right now it's just me and Tyler. So you can actually, you should be able to create new and go through and create a process. And like looking at my page here, so the reason that it shows up is because I added myself as a project contributor for this HeroX, and that's again the page that we were already looking at, which is this one right here. And after you do that, you should show up on the project team page. So take that as an action item to do. And this is something that will probably create an additional token incentive for people within our tokenomics, because this will save us some time when we're creating our final team submission. And I know that you did a lot of the cat herding regarding that for our Solar Prize Round 5 submission. Did you want to add anything to that real quick, Tyler, here?
As far as all the participation, or which part?
Just as far as like adding the details, or it, and I don't know if that all made sense as far as the ask there, but
yeah, Amy, Sam, and Double D, I'll follow up with all you guys afterwards and make sure that you can get on the project page and get your profile set up. The other thing is, are we doing token drops for these working groups?
we are, but we don't even have the tokens created, and that's actually one of the things.
If I'm supposed to be taking attendance, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do, because that's one of the things that we can do for truing up. Because just to echo, one of the things that we do is we actually have a POAP for people that participate, and a POAP is a proof of POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. And on the video thumbnail, this is actually the POAP, and Amy is the person that handles all of the POAPs for our stuff. And this is an opportunity that if you would like to learn how to do that, this is another opportunity. This is also another opportunity, because this isn't, like I said, this POAP that we're using here is a repurposed image. We really can and should have a one that feels and looks that's more original to Web3 Freedom Club and or Quad Co-op, because I think that there's absolutely an opportunity for a unique brand identity for not only Web3 Freedom Club, but also Quad Co-op as well. So let me welcome back, Amy. Are you there?
Yeah, I was in YouTube because it was gurgly earlier. My reception was not good.
Okay, cool. Well, and hopefully that whatever Zoom uses with their infrastructure, and this is again one of the reasons that we like using Zoom, is I think Zoom traffic, and this is some of the IT network engineer geek in me, I think that Zoom traffic gets handled, and historically we've just had a better user experience, and then I've already talked about some scalability. So we'll get that problem mitigated for our future one. And this is another opportunity that I just want to put out to the world. If somebody would love to get better at helping us with our live stream format to elevate it, because one of the opportunities that exists with using Zoom is to use a tool like OBS, where we can really elevate. OBS is a tool that a lot of professional, like news quality studios use for handling the back end production of their mainstream media stuff. So anyway, so this was me. If you missed it, Amy, I was just talking a little bit about the POAP and stuff like that. So yes, we absolutely want to be keeping attendance.
I heard it on YouTube.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, we do want to be keeping attendance, because we are going to be awarding for all of our working groups. And this is one of the things that I'm wanting to get hopefully done today, is to create one of our social tokens for Tesla Co-op DAO. And let me go back to our working group here real quick. So actually, before I get off of this team page, and one of the things, and I don't know if this is, because one of the opportunities is to create task templates. And let's see what that looks like. Templates. So I'm going to create a new template for create team entry page within Notion for project contributors. And this is something that I would say is, I'm going to put a no priority on this. And we're going to say task points 1. And this is something that task point, we're going to kind of keep this simple, because I think that the task points is just a numerical indicator. One task point is going to be like 1 hour. and that's something that will functionally translate to 25 tokens. And this is something that we can create some better workflow surrounding the, but let me create a link here. So the team directory page is right here. And let me share the link here so that somebody can do this. Because in order for somebody to do this, they have to be added by me or Tyler to Notion. And this is one of the things that we will get you added to Notion. And let me share the link here, copy web link. And this is what the web link will look like on the website. So this is what it looks like here. And when you're logged in, I prefer using the Notion app, but here is the link to, and let me put a step here, note. First, be added as a guest to Notion. DM Yonks or Yonks on Twitter or LinkedIn to, and this is one of the things that we will be working on as we create more of an opportunity for people to contribute to our project, that will be refining this as far as like a project onboarding process to be added as a contributor to Notion. So this is the team. And just as a little FYI, if you wonder why I capitalize team, I'm a huge fan of the acronym TEAM. Together, everyone achieves more. This is on Notion. Okay, so, and this is one of the features of Notion. So let's see. Who can apply, open to applications, multiple submissions. I don't know if there's a way to, I'll put 25 right now. And I don't, custom submission form, again, this is one of the things that we can enhance over time. So let's see, board, where that looks like. So again, this is one of the tools that we're creating to operate within this decentralized framework that we're building out here. So getting back on our agenda, so we've talked about this. This is one of the things that we'll take offline. I'm going to go ahead and check the box here. We love building in public. So tokenomics, we've been talking about this a little bit. So talked a little bit about the task points. So like participating in the working group, this is a 2-hour working group. So participating in the working group will reward 50 tokens. And just to kind of step back, we're basically allocating from a budget standpoint 10,000 tokens across 5 buckets here, Web3 Freedom Club, which we already have the smart contract for. But let's go ahead and create the one here for Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado. So this is one where we're going to create the wallet first, a multi-sig wallet. So this is, we love doing best practices, and let me go here to and let me just go to safe.global. Safe.global, formerly known as Gnosis Safe, is the multi-sig wallet that we love utilizing primarily for Ethereum and EVM compatible chains. We're doing most of our DAO infrastructure on Polygon. Not going to go into details as far as why here today. So let's go ahead and launch wallet. So this is one of the things that we have some existing wallets, and I'm going to go ahead and I might have to sign into MetaMask. Let me do that real quick. So we are still using LastPass for our password management, And that's one of the we practice. So here for my own yonks.eth wallet, and I'm going to switch to Polygon because this is where we have our safe, and we're actually going to come back here real quick because we're going to create a new account. But I wanted to show the one that we have here for Web3 Freedom Club, and this is one of the things that I was doing a little bit last week as far as on the live stream. So right here, when we created Web3 Freedom Club DAO, our smart contract on Polygon, and I'll put this token address on the live stream as well so that everybody has it. So this is a token/smart contract address for Web3 Freedom Club DAO. So this is one that we created on July the 7th, and this is here to create DAO, 25 million social tokens. And the reason for 25 million is that it's a number, 25 million is the assets under management for investment clubs. Investment clubs are going to be a critical component within the Web3 freedom ecosystem that we're building out here. So we're this is what I would say Web3 Freedom Club DAO is absolutely a fair launch DAO. We've not allocated any tokens, and we're doing a very simple tokenomics here for our first project. So we're going to go through and create a similar safe for our next DAO within the Quad Co-op. So this is, and we're not going to do all four here today. We're going to do the first one. So Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado. This is the token that we're going to create. And this is one of the things that we're wanting to do as, again, following a model. This is all for Colorado stuff. Now, the one that's a little unique about Web3 Freedom Club DAO is that this isn't of Colorado. This is like the mothership Web3 Freedom Club DAO. And this is one that we will be pretty tight as far as how that we're doing tokenomics rewards. We're actually going to create a W3 DAO CO of Colorado here soon. And that's one that we might kick towards doing on our office hours. I'm not going to go into details, but we're, again, wanting to create a model that we can replicate on a state-by-state basis. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab here, make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see it on this main. And I'm going to kind of toggle back and forth because I'm going to do some copying and pasting in between. Because looking at the settings here for this, and we've got 3 people that are the safe account owners here. It's myself, Tyler, and Amy, and we're going to copy these parameters. And this is one of the things that we want to expand as we grow and that's one of the things that we'll talk more about later. So anyway, let's go ahead and go back to the dashboard here on home. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that everybody can see it better on the live stream. And let me see how it looks when I reposition it. Nope, it's still bigger this way. And I think to make it even bigger, I'm going to do it like this, where it's an overlay. And I'm going to try to keep this in a, and let me make this not full screen, but let me do it like this, where it's, okay, so let's go ahead and do a create new account. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So we're actually going to switch to Polygon. We're not going to create, because again, the purpose for creating this, and let me see if I need to change your wallet, switch to Polygon. Let me switch this. I think I was already on Polygon. Switch network. so that this little thing goes away. So we're going to call this Polygon safe-polygon dot Tesla co-op dot ETH. Tesla co-op, and let me actually just bring this open. This is where, again, we love doing best practices, and I'm going to switch here. Let me actually do it in a different window so I don't have to switch real quick. Oh. I should just do this. Let me actually just do this on the Tesla co-op profile, because this is where I'm going to be doing this anyway. So Tesla co-op, and I think I actually am still the owner of this one. So this is one of the domains that we have right now. And this is one of the things that we might change a little bit, because like one of the domains or ENS domains that just registered the other day was Quad Co-op. So Quad Co-op, and let me just read this too, because this is one of the things that we want to refine. Let me bring it open here. So Quad Co-op, a decentralized quad cooperative model for solar, EV, energy sustainability, and equitable affordable housing, where renters become owners, a project by Web3 Freedom Club .eth. And I see a question here real quick from Double D. Do you have any ideas for the branding logo of Quad Co-op? I believe collaborating on it will be beneficial. So I don't have any ideas right now, because we really want to incorporate within the Quad Co-op. And let me see if I can find the link tree here real quick. So I saw it on a tab here, I thought. I'll just bring it up in here. So the four cooperatives that Double D is talking about is Tesla Co-op. And Tesla Co-op here will functionally be the cars aspect, but it'll really be the human element of this. And then the solar EV, which will be the EV charging infrastructure, as well as the solar charging or the solar energy infrastructure. The House Hackers DAO, which will be a Web3 community land trust, and Decent House, which will be Bitcoin mining infrastructure. So I don't have any great ideas on what that could look like to have like a logo here. And I don't know like how well that, like if you just made like a little image that represented each thing. And we have to be very careful because we don't want to use Tesla's branding in things, but I don't know if there's a good icon that represents an energy or an electric vehicle, but something like maybe just having where you've got a line on like splitting the logo into four quadrants, and then having like one of the icons, like whether it's just a Bitcoin logo for Decent House, because the more that we can represent logos, like a BTC logo, let's see, so like, you know, the Bitcoin could just be a logo in one of those quadrants here, because the Bitcoin logo is open sourced and can be utilized. And like maybe a lightning bolt in the one for the solar EV, and then like maybe just a and again a car in one. I don't know, but that's one of the things that we can figure out and refine over the course of this as well. So I don't know if anybody else wants to contribute some ideas. But we can talk about that and take that offline. There's the four cooperatives in the Quad Co-op model. So getting back to the smart contract thing here, let me see if this got it switched here, because I think that it switch me back to Ethereum. So let me just switch this back and click on this button again. Switch to Polygon. So, and I don't know if this is because I've got a conflict. Let me close this tab here. I think that that was causing some conflict within my browser. So safe, and this is just a usage here. We're not actually going to create the ENS subdomain. And this is one of the things that I think ENS support may be having soon on Polygon. It's not something that I'm not familiar with. And let me bring Amy back on here real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and click on next. So right now, just to recap, we're actually going to go through and create the wallet. The reason that we're creating the multi-sig wallet is that we're going to go through here momentarily and actually create our social token that will represent Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado. So this is one of the steps. So select network and name of your safe. And I'm going to throw this here in chat. So add new owner. And this is where I'm just going to do some copying and pasting from this one. Copy this address. Add new owner. Copy this address. Okay. So, and we're going to make the threshold 2 out of 3. And so there's a slight fee on Polygon for doing this transaction. And this is one of the reasons that we love building on Polygon, because it is very affordable for doing that. So it's going to go through and do the approval process, and it's a 4-step process for creating the multi-sig safe. And then we'll go through and we'll actually create the DAO on Aragon for and the smart contract for the social token. And this is one of the reasons that we love doing this in public is that we love showing that it's not that complicated. And there's lots of use cases. And as a project creator and a project founder, now, one of the things that we, and I'm not going to go into details as far as what this will look like as we are going to transition from this being a social token towards a security token. And that's one of the things that we'll have more conversations here in 2023 as we're working towards our security token offering in 2024. But right now we're wanting to get all of the framework, all of the infrastructure in place. I started talking a little bit about the mermaid.js book. That's really one of the tools that we're wanting to use for like documenting the user journey, and we'll be talking more about creating some user journeys as we continue to go through this working group process. So your safe account address. So here's our safe account address. Here, the safe was created successfully. And I'm going to put this on our YouTube chat as well so that everybody can see that. And here is the details for what we're calling safe-polygon.teslacoop.eth. And this is one of the things that we might change a little bit, because this is actually the one for Colorado now that I'm thinking about it. And this is for Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado. So we'll probably make it be like CO dot there. And the name is, we haven't done anything to update the name on the blockchain anywhere. So, and this is one of the things that we do have a framework within Notion. And let me actually find that real quick here, because this is where I love showing our safe multi-sig wallet. So let me do a little bit of housekeeping real quick here. Let me bring this open on screen. So this is one of the things that we have a, let's see, do new safe. And this is on Polygon. And the safe name again is their safe Polygon CO address. And the project, I'm going to just put it for this project right now. Purpose is a treasury. So, and this is one of the things that we can continue to build upon. And I'll just put on here a history for 2023. Created this safe during Hero X WG number 2. I'll just create a link to our Hero X WG number 2 quad co-op. So this is just one of the ways that we can get use the stuff to kind of bounce back and forth. And let me just put on here right now that we did right here is we created a multi-sig safe. And let me put a link to, let's see, this is going back. And I'll put a link here to that right there. So this is just one of the ways that we can use Notion to kind of keep track of some stuff with some simple history and utilizing the database framework that we do and building upon there. And this, of course, has some opportunities. Like one of the things that doesn't have on here is the owners. So that's something that we can improve upon adding as an element here within our Notion framework that we're doing. So now we can actually go through and we can actually create our multi-sig, or not our multi-sig, that's what we just did. We can actually create the, so let's actually take a look at the safe on what that looks like. So the reason that we needed this is now we can actually, when we go through and we create our smart contract on the Aragon app, we can actually airdrop our social token directly into this multi-sig safe. And then one of the things, and this is one of the things that we will take a look at, and this is an opportunity because one of the things that's more unique about this project is we're talking about doing having 5 different tokens, because this is a more involved project and there's some unique synergies, and building out the details for these different projects is one of the reasons that we're wanting to create some differentiation here, because as things continue to grow and expand, we're expecting people's interests and or expertise, like Decent House, Bitcoin mining. While I have a really strong technical background myself, I have never deployed Bitcoin mining hardware, and the opportunity of deploying decentralized, or not decentralized, but like liquid cooled Bitcoin mining hardware is a very real opportunity. So let's actually take a look here. We don't have any tokens in this safe, and we're going to show all tokens here. So right now we don't have any tokens. This is something that will change. And just to show real quick, everybody, the settings, this is something that we have here on that. So let's actually just open up, go back to the Tesla co-op window that I was talking about. So now we're going to go to aragon.org, and we're going to go through, and we're actually going to go through the process. I'm going to hop in the hot wallet here real quick. I got to put in, so this is a hot wallet that I created for Tesla co-op.eth, And this is one of the things as we increasingly move towards decentralization that will be an opportunity of doing. But right now, Tesla Co-op.eth, let me log into the hot wallet for that. And let me make sure here. So Tesla Co-op.eth, and I don't think I've actually done anything to officially designate this as the hot wallet for Tesla Co-op.eth yet. Not going to go into details what that looks like, but let's go ahead and actually launch your DAO. So connect the wallet. Got it. So got it. So this is some of the, so we're actually going to switch to add a network. We're going to add Polygon here real quick. Switch to Polygon because we're going to deploy our social token on Polygon, and I'll probably need some Matic. So I'm actually going to send some Matic real quick from yonks.eth to, I'm going to just send one Matic, because there will be a transaction fee to launch this DAO on Matic. This is one of the things that I was talking about that we may do. We've got a good chunk of Matic for retoken from another project. And this is something that we may create a process for as far as onboarding people into Web3 Freedom Club DAO. We're absolutely going to be building on a lot of behind the scenes stuff with retoken that we're going to be rebranding into P-token DAO, property token DAO. So anyway, let's go ahead. I'm here on Aragon app. I'm going to go through the process of connecting wallet using MetaMask. Right now, MetaMask is the main hot wallet that we advocate. And until we are doing more of a multi-chain, that's probably something that we will continue to do because I think it's still the most compatible Ethereum EVM compatible wallet on the market today. So anyway, we're going to go through right now. We're going to create a DAO, and this is for Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado. And Amy keeps on hopping in and out here. Apologies that your connection isn't great, Amy. So build your DAO. So select, and we're building our DAO on Polygon. This is again for Tesla Co-op DAO. So DAO name. Now this is one of the things that's quad co-op. I'm wanting to continue to lean into from a branding standpoint. I don't know if the smart contract is updatable here on within Aragon's framework. I'm pretty sure that the logo is, but we're going to call this quad co-op. And then this is going to be, I'm going to put a hyphen here, Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado. And I'm going to just copy and paste the description here. And this is, so Tesla car, or no, this is just Tesla Co-op of Colorado. A quad co-op DAO, which is a and I'm pretty sure that this description can be updated later, but not one to get overly creative here. So I think that these links can all be updated later. And we're going to call this link and I think that we have, like, this is one, we also have tesla.coop. I don't think that that domain, that link is available. I don't know if the DAO name can be changed later, and I don't know if that really matters. I'm increasingly liking using quad co-op as far as just to centralize from a branding standpoint, these 4 elements that we're going to create our security token offering for. And this is a homepage. Token holders, no, mint your token. So, and I'm going to go back to the previous page because this is probably what can't change. And I'm going to put in parentheses here a Web3 Club. So it doesn't like the hashtag. Can only contain alphanumeric. Quad co-op. A quad co-op. How does this sound real quick? Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado, a quad co-op in Web3 Freedom Club.
I feel like it's a bit too long, in my own opinion.
I'm not going to disagree, but I'm really trying to figure out how to get in some of the important branding components here. Because, like, imagine having, because the goal here, this is again a token identifier for the organization of Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado, a quad co-op in Web3 Freedom Club. I think that all of these elements, because like where this is going to show up, and let me actually see if I have another window. So this is what this is going to look like here on, so here's the token on Polygon Scan. So this is where this will show up here. And this is one of the things that we can, I believe, update. And this is one of the opportunities to better amplify. But this is what's going to happen when we go through and create this, is that the token name is what shows up here. And imagine like us having potentially multiple, because the opportunity from somebody when they're just looking at the blockchain explorer on Polygon Scan to really know what this is for is, I think, the opportunity to really create some differentiation so that somebody doesn't confuse this smart contract with another smart contract there. So that's kind of the goal, is to use a combination of names along with symbols that can't be potentially confused with another smart contract when somebody's looking strictly at a blockchain explorer. And one of the things, just to set some expectations here, is I would really at some point in the future create our own smart contract template. Right now, we're going to be using Aragon app to mint our social token, to mint our smart contract. And one of the things that I'm expecting that we will get great at in the future is utilizing the ERC 1404 extension of ERC20 so that we can have more control over the capabilities. So what are your thoughts here, Tyler, on this? Is this something that
The membership?
this is that will be created when we click the button mint for Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado? And to Sam's point, it's absolutely a long name, but it's also a unique branding opportunity that we have to say what this token, what this smart contract is for.
Yeah, the name is pretty long, but I think the biggest thing is if this were the only one we were planning on doing, it would be too long. But if, Sam, just so you know, Jason and I were talking about this morning, potentially buying a second Tesla house here in North Glen in our suburb of North Denver. So if we start scaling this thing out, it's going to be really easy to get the tokens and the entities confused. On a kind of a side note, when we were running our car business, we were running it as a company called We Own Assets, and we've got a wall full of license plates. We own 1, we own 2, we own 3, we own 4. It's just really important to start having distinguishable names. When you start running a lot of entities, like we were running cars, it gets really confusing when you've got 3 of the exact same car. So when we've got 3 houses in North Glen, or then you pick a bigger city like Denver or Lagos or wherever, then it can get really confusing really fast. That's why we use the longer names.
And I don't know how much that you caught there, Sam, of some additional clarification that Tyler provided as far as the reason, because we're really hoping and anticipating to have literally hundreds of smart contracts that will be in play, that will have various, like this particular smart contract that we're talking is about a smart contract that represents an organizational container that we're calling Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado. And so this is one of the things that I think will become a lot more apparent as we start creating some more of these co-ops, is that, and this is one of the things that I'm actually going to create a database within Notion to maintain our smart contracts that will be in play. Because just to reiterate, the goal is to eventually create our own ERC 1404 smart contract architecture that we have additional capabilities above. And for those that aren't familiar, the ERC 1404 is the security token extension for ERC20 that is backwards compatible. And this specifically is going to be one of the social tokens that we're going to be rewarding that will ultimately represent, hopefully, if things unfold as that we desire, a security token in one of the 4 quad co-op security tokens that we do. So I'm going to go back and grab the address for our safe wallet that we just created. So let's see, copy the address to clipboard, and let me paste that in here. I got to take off the Matic. So tokens, we want 25 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 25 million. So that's one of the things that I like about this smart contract template is, and this is one of the things that we're hoping will change, is this network does not support ENS domains. It's kind of disappointing that Polygon doesn't support ENS domains in 2023, but that's another conversation. So anyway, just scrolling through this is again to deploy the smart contract. And the 25 million is an arbitrary number that we're selecting to keep things to kind of like what we're anticipating doing for our security token offering is, with regulation crowdfunding, we can raise up to 5 million. And what we're really wanting to do is to have 1 token represent $1 for our security token offering. And we'll have a lot more details when that becomes available. But right now, the plan is to create the social token, and it gets dropped into the multi-sig wallet. And we're going to create a threshold. And this is one of the things that we're going to adjust. One of the things that is I believe, a limitation of the Aragon infrastructure is that it doesn't support a hybrid DAO governance model. Now, we're not going to have an overly complicated governance model for this because, anyway, I don't think that there's anything that I need to do here. I'm going to put this on our here in Notion. So, smart contract name, and I'm going to do a let's see, I can't remember how to do a code box. So this is just a code box. This is so I'm taking some notes here. This is the name, symbol, so everybody can see it. Here's the symbol, token holders, and getting it created into our multi-sig wallet. DAO name. And I'm actually just going to call this the same thing. All of these things can be changed later. Within Aragon, I believe. And I don't even know if that we're going to be using Aragon for actually maintaining our DAO stuff. Because I'm expecting that we're going to have to, in order to do the hybrid DAO governance model, expecting that we're going to have to deploy this or do our governance. Let's see. Just double checking things here. All right, deploy the DAO and approve the transaction. And I'm going to step away just 1 second here. All right, so let's take a look here at the Launch DAO dashboard and see what we've got. So we're building your DAO. The on-chain data is being deployed and published. This won't take very long. So Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado, a quad co-op in Web3 Freedom Club. So let me actually take a look here and refresh the dashboard here, view assets, and see if the tokens are in the dashboard here yet for our multi-sig. And it doesn't look like that they are. So it looks like the DAO may still be creating. I'm going to actually copy this and share this with everybody. Well, I'm going to take a look at what it looks like in an incognito window. So Tesla Co-op of Colorado, a quad co-op DAO, a decentralized quad cooperative. That's just copy and paste verbiage. And that links to our quad co-op, where we still have this domain error. And this is something that I'm going to try to get resolved here between now and our office hours working group. So let's see if this is... So this is actually the multi-sig wallet. So here, and you can see as on the multi-sig safe that we have the token that is represented here, 25 million tokens that we just created, similarly to what we did with Web3 Freedom TC DAO CO. And this is the multi-sig wallet for Tesla Co-op. And I'm not sure, this is one of the things that we'll have to take a look at, whether we need, anyway, we'll take that conversation offline. But this is pretty exciting because this is, again, one of the tokens that we're going to be rewarding as our proof of contribution here. So really one of the things that I'm wanting to do between now and our next working group is to get these other tokens created in a similar model for, or in a similar manner. And let me actually, I'm going to put the link to this on our, let's put this right here as a bookmark. Here's a bookmark to our multi-sig safe that just created here. Smart contract name, and there's
Jason Double D saying he can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Tyler?
I can, but yeah.
Okay. Well, if everything's showing up, I don't know. Amy's been listening to the YouTube. If you're still listening to the YouTube, Amy, if you could throw a chat in there, that would be great. And I'm going to open up here. So here's our token that we created. So let's actually take a look at, so this title is a little long, and this is something that gets truncated, but if you do mouse over it, and again, the thoughts is to try to get as much from a branding standpoint in, and I don't know if we really need to put the entire state name, maybe, and this is something that might be better to just make it say CO of Colorado, and I'll take that offline too, because I kind of like that it has in there, because the more that we can just be as, because when you think about how that this will be used is that it's going to show up in somebody's dynamic here, and the easier that we can make it differentiate, because I don't know if any people that are holding these tokens, because this is just an interim smart contract between now and when we create our security token smart contract. So this is likely only going to have less than a 1-year lifespan. And that's something that we'll have more conversations with as far as when we start to have more conversations with who will be doing our security token offering. And I just had a thing there from Sam. I still see the my mic showing up on the restream, and Tyler confirmed that it was coming through on her end. So apologies. Like I said, this is again one of the reasons that we use Zoom. We've had a higher quality of experience for the people that are participating on a global basis. So anyway, I feel really good that we got our smart contract created for Tesla Co-op DAO of Colorado. One of the things that I'm wanting to do, this is one of the things that I'll probably figure out how I want that to look like between now and our upcoming office hours, because there's a lot of stuff that we're doing, and this is pretty involved. I mean, there's going to be multiple smart contracts involved because we're going to have a smart contract that represents each tokenized asset, like the Tesla car co-op that showed you the entity management system here in Notion earlier. So this is one of the things, like I said, I'm going to create a smart contract database within Notion so that we can manage, keep track of the smart contracts that are in play within the ecosystem that we're building out here as well. But I'm going to go ahead and throw a link in here to the token for the Polygon smart contract that we just created on our live stream. So that's pretty exciting. And that's one of the things that wanting to do on a regular basis, an airdrop, and this is one of the opportunities to find a better solution for doing some of our community management aspects of. So anyway, I'm not going to go through and create the smart contract for each one of these. We're getting close to the time frame here. And I want to talk about, so we talked about the tokenomics, and again, we'll be creating some more, and apologies for Brooke. She's just waking up from her nap. Hopefully I wasn't waking her up unexpectedly. So to restate, the goal with what we're doing is to create a business model process that can be deployed for any state. So we're creating some smart contracts to represent, and this is something that we might not do for future models, like when we're further along, because we're one of the goals with Hero X is to really get everything refined so that, like, when we look to launch a new state, like creating what we're creating here will be mostly templated, and it'll just be copy and paste, or that's something that we could potentially even automate. But that's a little bit, we've talked a lot about the Quad Co-op security token offering. So let's talk a little bit about what we're looking to do. And I'm going to take a look real quick to see if we've got any conversation on our YouTube here real quick. So I see Double D saying I'm back on YouTube. If anybody else is there on YouTube watching the live stream, give us a quick shout out on the live stream. So the hyper-local Web3 Freedom Club communities. So this is something that is a ongoing work in progress. And here is the Web3. I see Amy popping back in to restream here. So here is the meetup group, and I'm going to throw this link in our on the live stream here for you, YouTube. So link to our meetup.com group for Web3 Freedom Club of Colorado. So this is a meetup group that we had previously that we did a little bit of rebranding with, and not from a logo standpoint. This is one of the opportunities that we have to create some identity surrounding Web3 Freedom Club. But you can see the link up here, Web3 Freedom Club of Colorado. And this is one that we're going to be creating. Like the next event that we're going to be creating for will be our very first hybrid event / piggyback event. This is one of the things that I'm really excited, like from a hybrid event. So what is a hybrid event? So a hybrid is a combination of an IRL, in-person event with an online event. And this is one of the things that we're going to continue to refine using this Zoom and live stream format that can really be, I think, a formulaic model for how that we're doing the state-by-state expansion. So this is one of the things that we'll continue to explore, see what's working, what's not working, and really get refined. So let me throw a link on here again to our Notion for our meetup group as the bookmark for what that looks like. So one of the aspects, and this is what is Web3 Freedom Club. When you really like take a step back, and this is something that I mentioned, there's going to be two main tools that we're utilizing to help our club members on their journey to financial freedom. One of which are investment clubs. So we're planning to launch with 2 initial Web3 investment clubs. And this is something that is, again, a work in progress that will be evaluated and refined. And specifically, we're looking to launch Web3 Freedom Club of Colorado and Web3 Investment Club of North Glen. And the reason that we're wanting to do 2 investment clubs is, one, we're anticipating the functionality at a state level investment club will look a little bit different than at a hyper local, like a city. North Glen is a micro municipality where we're building our very first quad co-op proof of concept here in North Glen, Colorado. And we're really wanting for this to, again, be a part of a circular regenerative finance model. And this will really come more into play as we continue to build out how that we're planning to expand within this ecosystem that we're building out as far as quad co-op and our hyper-local Web3 Freedom Club communities. I don't know, Tyler, did you want to, and I don't know if she's going to be able to expand or contribute anymore. Just looking at the time here, we've got only a few minutes remaining. So one of the things that I wanted to do was to finalize the date and time here for our upcoming office hours. So this is one of the things we love utilizing Let Us Meet, and we'll get this as soon as my internet page loads up here. And sometimes my computer starts to hate me. So let me go ahead and schedule this. This is one of the things that we're planning on allocating 1 hour. So it looks like that this is going to be at 3 p.m. based upon everybody's availability. And this is 3 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern, for Wednesday the 9th. So I'm going to go ahead and get that scheduled. So let's see. It's and I'll just copy and paste this right into the Notion page here for the finalized date and time for next office hours. MDT. So I'll get that all created and scheduled here within Notion. So I'm going to just, I've been doing most of the talking here, and I don't know if anybody else is going to be able to contribute any audio standpoint, but I was just wanting to allow some final thoughts as far as some, and this is one of the things that we normally try to do during the last final time as far as some decisions and next actions. And the way that we're going to be structuring this is we're going to be building from the working group to the office hours to the working group, and then just trying to get that finalized in a more synergistic manner so that we can really get all the aspects moving forward within this framework that we're building out here. So I'm going to stop talking. Anybody want to chime in some thoughts here? I see Amy pops back in. Did you want to chime in some final thoughts before we bring this working group to a close, Amy or anybody else? So just to recap here, we've got our office hours scheduled for Wednesday, and that's 3 o'clock Mountain, 5 o'clock Eastern. And then real quick, one of the things, and this is something that I will catch up via the LinkedIn group, because I don't know if this time slot works great for everybody. It seemed to work pretty good here as far as Brooke taking a nap, because she was actually asleep for almost the entirety of our working group. So I'm kind of liking this time slot here on Saturday afternoon. But like I said, I'll take that conversation to our private LinkedIn chat messaging group there. And one of the things that I will commit to getting done, ideally before our office hours, is to get a shorter video that I'm hoping will become our at least a start for what is quad co-op. And this is one of the things I'm not sure if I'll be able to get both of those things as far as a team contribution video or not. But I see Sam popped back in. And I don't know if you were trying to contribute something, Sam or Amy, but I just re-added both Sam or Amy here, as that we are winding down our second working group. Our next, and let me add this as a new caption here. So add office hours OH number 1 scheduled for Wednesday, August 9th at 5 p.m. EDT. So I'll add this as a let's see, where did that go? Right there. So office hours scheduled for Wednesday. And like I said, we'll be between our office hours and our working groups, we'll be really working to get everything dialed in as far as how the people can contribute, the things that we see that's needed. And again, we're really wanting this to be a team element. There's things that we might not think of or see, and really wanting this to be where people can contribute thoughts and ideas to this model so that we can really get it well refined and dialed in, so that this is something that people, the judges, when they're reviewing our submission for the Hero X American Made Solar Prize, that they can really see this as like, hey, this could really work. And that's the goal with what we're creating. And we're wanting to have our proof of concept farther along that just amplifies the numbers that we believe can exist to really create this regenerative finance circular economy. So last chance for everybody to chime in. We're in our 2-hour working group window, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. And this is, again, one of the things that we'll be working on. Go ahead. I hear somebody chiming in here.
Hey, I'm back, but it's been rugging me all the 2 hours. I don't know if it's my internet connection or it's just hard for restream, but I will watch the replay on YouTube. YouTube has a better reception for me. So thank you guys for having this working group today, and looking forward to moving our project forward.
Yes, and thank you for that, Amy. And I think that this just amplifies the opportunity of and the need of utilizing Zoom. And this just echoes, because we've used Restream for a while, and it's not just Restream, but when we were before we really got on board with Restream, we were using that other tool. I can't even remember what it was called. I loved using it from the ease of creating a higher quality, but the cooperative aspect is something that Zoom just seems to have a better user experience for people connecting from their remote parts of the world, as far as prioritizing those very important packets through the internet. So that's something that we'll absolutely have in place for our office hours, and then we'll make sure that that provides a better experience, so that we'll again carry that over to using that for our working group. And I love to hanging out here with everybody. We've got a lot of stuff that has to be done, and this is one of the things that we will get better at, creating the tasks and creating the agenda, and then everybody's got permission to reach out as far as some ideas that you have. This is a format that we've been refining, but we're always looking to make this format better, as because collaborating and contributing to DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, we're just at the infancy as far as really refining the art of decentralized work and collaboration, especially working to create something at scale that we believe can scale to a global basis. So anyway, have a happy Saturday and have a fun and safe rest of your weekend, everybody. We will continue to be in touch while we're working through these various aspects via our LinkedIn chat. My DMs are open across the internet at Yonks, whether that's on LinkedIn or Twitter or wherever the case may be. And that's one of the things I'm going to work on getting more responsive as, especially as we're amplifying the visibility with what we're building here with Quad Co-op through Web3 Freedom Club, and this great opportunity that exists through the HeroX American Made Challenge Solar Prize Round 7. But have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everyone.